Good afternoon, everyone. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah. I'm Hannah Alt. I'm the chair of the We Are Staffordshire Place Board, and I'm a director of Valentine Clays. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to our hosts, Rupert and Emma Evans of Denstone Hall Farm Shop and Cafe. What a lovely food-inspired venue that's perfect for our event today. A big thank you to all the team at Denstone Hall for their wonderful welcome too. We hope that you've enjoyed some Staffordshire food and drink on arrival, in particularly Nelson's Gin. Everyone's a little bit tiddly before they leave today. Before we start, I'm just going to do a little bit of housekeeping for you. So in the event of a fire, please exit via the 2 doors. A bit obvious. If anyone does need the toilet, it is at the back of the room. And just to let you know that we are recording today's event and that we will be distributing it post-event, just so you all know. It would be also great today if everyone could get tweeting, get on social media, just promote kind of the great experience that you're having and promote our great county as well. So if you could all use the hashtag #WeAreStaffordshire. So I task everyone today to do at least 1 tweet. Okay, so in 2020, Staffordshire business, education and public sector organisations united to improve the way we promote and market our county, to attract other businesses and investors, to encourage visitors and to showcase to the people who already live and work in this great place. This involved understanding what makes Staffordshire special, what makes it competitive, what makes us unique, what makes us distinctive, and bringing it together an authentic and inspiring story that every organisation sitting here can actually promote and be proud of. So this is where I need your help today. So I need all of you, if you're not ambassadors already, I need you to sign up and support what we're trying to achieve, because it's through you and your kind of network and the people you know, and not just within our county, but it's promoting us outside as well. Because we've got some amazing and unique stories, such as this place here. Just look at Denstone and what they're offering. Look at how they've grown and developed. And you'll hear from some really inspiring speakers today who will tell you their unique stories as well. And you've all got stories too. So I really would encourage you that if you have not signed up to the Ambassador Programme, please sign up. Please let us know if there are any speakers that you can think of that would be great, or any suggestions around a theme, or any unique stories that you think we should be promoting as a county. It would be really great for you to kind of do that. Now, if anyone wants to know how they can sign up as an ambassador, all you need to do is go to our website, which is just wearestaffordshire.co.uk, and you can sign up there. Now, recently we've launched a great new portal. So we give you all the information you need and we can give you all the help. We've got a great toolkit of lots of kind of information, pictures, anything that you need to distribute and help to promote your story as well. So we are so excited and honoured to have you here today and on this journey with us. So if you would like to talk about what I've mentioned today in terms of the Ambassador Network, I would please chat to Louisa, who's our place brand manager. And we've also got Louise here as well, which she's at the back of the room. So either of these ladies, if you want a bit more information, they can help you. But for now, let's get on with today's event. I'd like to introduce our chair for today, Craig Wilkinson.
Those applause are a little delayed, folks, so come on, stay with it. Yeah, good afternoon. Just to echo Hannah's words there, it's wonderful to be hosting the 7th Ambassador event here at Denstone Hall. What a beautiful place. Thank you for having us, Rupert. And it's great to see so many of you here today. It is a sellout event, and it's great to see so many faces here. And I look forward to meeting more people. The people I've met so far, yeah, as you say, Hannah, great stories. It's great to hear what everyone's doing, and I'm really interested in everyone hearing about what we're going to be talking about today. I'm A bit about me. I won Entrepreneur of the Year last year, Staffordshire Chamber of Commerce. I'm from the Black Country originally. I'm a co-founder of Luna by Niall Keating. I'm a co-founder of the Great British Experience Company, which we set up the Great British Drive-In during the pandemic. We operate Victoria Park in Stafford, Albert's Cafe. I'm a co-founder of an award-winning immersive dining experience in London and an event staffing agency as well. So a couple of different companies within events, entertainment, hospitality. But that's really enough about me, because yeah, the real power of these events is hearing about the new initiatives that are happening in Staffordshire, success stories, and exploring what everyone's going through, success and the challenges that we're facing, because many of us facing similar challenges as well. Hopefully everyone creates relationships together that will benefit you guys as well, all of us, and Staffordshire as a whole. So the tourism, hospitality and food manufacturing industry is vitally important to Staffordshire. And today we're going to hear from organisations that are kind of boutique through to large scale, largest cheese packaging manufacturer in the UK as well. So different scales of businesses here as well. We're going to hear from Richard Swancoat from Enjoy Staffordshire, Rupert Evans from Denson Hall, Philip Carter from Love Cheese Live and Ornua Foods, and Chris Cohen, founder of Feasted, Neil Harrison, founder of Nelson's Gin. Once everybody's finished with this talk, we're going to invite everyone back and we're going to host a Q&A. So if you've got any questions throughout, write them down and think of them. At the end, we'll have a panel Q&A with everybody. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce Richard Swancoat, who's digital marketing and social media executive from Enjoy Staffordshire, and he's going to be talking about an overview, Destination Staffordshire and Taste of Staffordshire as a brand, and Staffordshire's Destination Management Partnership strategic vision and priorities. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Thank you. Over to you, Richard.
Feeling a bit overdressed. Thanks for that introduction, Craig. I'll move on to the next. There we go, that's me. Okay, so as Craig mentioned, I'm Richard Swancoat from Enjoy Staffordshire, and we are the Destination Management Partnership for Staffordshire. So we're the tourist board for the county, basically. And it's our remit to bring more people into the county. So whether that's for day trips or overnight stays, groups, things like that. That's our mission, really. And that's what we aim to do. We're looking to grow and develop Staffordshire's visitor economy. And we're presenting Staffordshire as the UK's biggest and best playground, because there's just so many ways to play in Staffordshire. We've got immense quality in terms of attractions, accommodation and food and drink businesses, some of which you're going to be hearing from a bit later on today. And we want to build on that quality and just shout about how great Staffordshire is as a place to visit. That's what we're here for, really. So in terms of the support we can offer to the sector, as well as promoting Staffordshire and shouting about how great it is, we're here to support the sector as well. We want to help you guys develop and, you know, bring us up the rankings and make Staffordshire the great visitor destination in the country that we all know it can be. So we provide a huge range of support. We offer signposting to funding. We lobby national government and speak to decision makers at Visit England on your behalf, really, and shout about your success and talk to them about your challenges. And we want to help you tackle those big challenges as well. For example, you know, those big skills and recruitment challenges that we're facing in the industry at the moment. Later this year, we're going to be working on a skills campaign, and we're really going to have a drive to promote the breadth of careers that are available in tourism, and particularly to young people, and get them excited about the industry, get them into tourism and get their friends involved, and just really pick up that experience and those social skills that will benefit them in later life, whether they stay in tourism or move into another industry. We're also developing a destination management plan at the moment, which is our strategy. This is going to form the basis of how we're going to promote Staffordshire over the next few years. So we'll be looking at things like product packaging and developing itineraries, and how do we piggyback on our great attractions and experiences and combine them together and get people to stay longer in the county. And we're also here to celebrate your success as well. So we offer great marketing opportunities online and offline, but we also want to shout about your success. And one of the main ways we do that is through the Enjoy Staffordshire Tourism and Good Food Awards. So they're open now for entries. We've just opened the 2022 competition. There are 19 categories, including lots of food and drink categories for restaurants, great experiences, farm shop, tea room, pub, you name it, there's a category for you guys. So please do get involved with the awards. We'll be having an event, hopefully again next spring, and really celebrating our success from the next few months. So really that's how we're looking to develop the sector in the next few months. Please do get involved with us. You know, tag us in at Enjoy Staffordshire, or come and speak to myself or Andrea Salmons after the event. All right, I think that's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Up next, we have Rupert Evans of Denstone Hall Farm Shop and Cafe. Rupert, sorry, excuse me, is going to be talking about history and introduction to the offer of Denstone Farm Shop and the cafe, supporting locals through the pandemic and how the offer had to flex or evolve in these unprecedented times, and what it means to be a good hospitality retailer in Staffordshire. Over to you.
Great, thank you very much. So thank you very much for all coming today. We thought it'd be nice to tell you a bit about our journey and how we came to be here. So tell you a bit about our backstory. And that's a picture of Emma, my wife, who's sat over here. Back in 2005, I think it was, when we used to live down in London. And that was before this place even existed. We had the inspiration to open a farm shop, mainly by going to farmers markets in London. And this was all about sort of connecting with the producers, meeting the farmers. This was our kind of fix of farming at the weekends when we used to go and sort of meet the producers. And we thought maybe, just maybe, we could possibly set something up in Staffordshire encompassing that sort of farmers market feel 365 days a year. And back at home in Staffordshire, which Emma's family farm, the farm here, and have done for 4 generations, there was an opportunity for us here. Emma's father was coming out of dairy farming to focus primarily on arable and livestock, and some of the buildings were becoming available to convert, and we had this idea to convert them into a farm shop and so on. You can see the amount of work that we had to undertake. It was a bit of a wreck. We had to convert a lot of buildings, and this building here was our first farm shop. It was an old dairy parlour. That's where the cows were milked, and that was turned into our first farm shop, which looks like that eventually. So we opened this in 2007, after I'd basically given up my job in London and moved up and had a year commuting up and down, living with Emma's parents, getting planning permission, getting a Rural Enterprise Scheme grant from DEFRA, and eventually we opened in 2007, like I said, but Emma was pregnant at that time and our first son was born in the August, so Emma was stuck in shelves with Bump. We started our business in a recession, which was tricky, but I guess we were slightly oblivious to that, and I think the offering that we had was quite different, and it didn't seem to affect us. We started with a 22-seat cafe. It was really tiny. I know a few people in here knew our cafe, Mo. I can see you smiling. It was always busy. It was always, packed to the gunnels. And I think people quite liked that buzz that we had in our business. We had a very small butchery and a small deli, a smaller version of what you see today. So we're a family-run business. This is quite an old picture now, so the more up-to-date one of our children in the barley down the field there. Family-run business. We're all about food, farming, and family. The 3 Fs. That's our kind of mantra, if you like. The thing that we're here to really shout about today is Staffordshire produce. Local is at the heart of this business. This is what we're all about, and we are champions of Staffordshire produce. We're a network, if you like, or a hub for local produce. It's not all about us. We're part of a community, if you like, of producers, and we're a community stop off, if you like, for people in this community. We're very much a hub. And as you can see here, some of our producers, we've got Packington Free Range, who have been here today sampling the sausages, Mary from the dairy, from Staffordshire Cheese, Dalton's Dairy, Sam's Eggs, a budding entrepreneur just down the road who started an egg company a few years ago and came to us and asked whether we could work with him. Nelson's Gin, of course, are here, which we're all enjoying. Titanic, and to name a few. Anyway, there are many, many producers that we work with. And we developed our own sort of brand here with a logo so that we could stick this sticker onto local produce so our customers really know what is local. Not everything in the shop is local, but lots of it is. We also we have a big gift shop, which you've probably seen as well, and we try and stock as much local gift as we can. Emma's whispering something to I'm coming to that, don't spoil it. She spoilt it. Wade, global jugs are a phenomenon that I'm sure you all know about. They've been fantastic, but there's Goat Soap, the Cart Flying Teaspoon Company, Stokey Gin, Six Towns. There's so many local producers, and we are blessed in a way that we're living in such a rich and diverse county that we can use to fill our shop with. So we, from the outset, we always had this vision that it wasn't just going to be a little farm shop in the building outside. It was going to be a bigger project than that. And we decided that we would get somebody in to help us to sort of have a vision for this whole 90-acre site. And we are sort of part way through that long-term vision. But the next step was very much to start converting this shed that we're now in. This is where the cows used to be kept. We actually had to drop this shed down because the seals weren't suitable for humans. They were okay for cows, but not for humans. And we knocked it down, and we ended up with this, our new building. So this was opened in 2013. We went from our 22-seat cafe to a 100-seat cafe, which we're sitting in now. And it allowed us to really expand our food offering and start working with a lot more local suppliers, and also introduce a lot of our own new brands. We actually put in a production kitchen here at Denson, and we make, I don't know, Emma, 30 lines, 40 lines of our own here. Cakes, pies, puddings, sausage rolls, Scotch eggs, you name it, we cook it here. We also then had a gift offering, which was just where our fruit and veg is now, and that was the start of going into gift. Now that is fairly unique for a farm shop, and Emma's background was working for Monsoon and River Island before that, and she has a vast buying career experience in that world, and that's why we have gone into gift. And it actually complements everything that we do and makes this into more of a destination. It's more of a somewhere to come for perhaps a half day. Our team grew. We went from sort of 10 people when we first set up to perhaps about 35, I should think, when we moved into this building, and it's still growing. And we kind of use this phrase, build it and they will come. It's probably not one to put in your business plan, but it did actually work. We couldn't believe it. We went from a very small farm shop into here, and almost overnight, our, our customer numbers just went up and up and up, and we were taken by surprise. And initially there was a wall halfway across here because we never thought we'd use all of this space as a cafe. And in actual fact, it's always been open. It's always been used as one old cafe. As you can see here, we've got the stunning Staffordshire countryside for our customers to look at. It's one of our great USPs. We are on the Staffordshire Way. The Staffordshire Way actually runs across there. So we get loads of walkers here, lots of cyclists. We're on the route to Alton Towers, which is a double-edged sword. And obviously very close to JCB, which is great for us. Our cafe is a real hub. It's a real live bit of the business. It's always busy, and it's a bit of a yin and yang with the shop and the cafe. They work brilliantly together, partly for utilisation of produce to make sure that we never have any waste in our business, and the sort of cross-fertilisation of using produce that you see in the shop, in the cafe, and so the customer gets this really lovely experience across both parts of the business. So this is the two-storey part of the building that went on in 2018, and this created a lot more space for us because we were able to move the gift area, which was a real success, into a dedicated bit of the business. And again, that grew with Emma's expertise in the buying. And it allowed us to invest more into food produce and have a bigger space for food produce. Our staff grew at this time to about 50, and again, it strengthened our destination appeal. This is the upstairs of our gift shop. I think some of you had a look around. If it's still open, you're more than welcome to go and have a look afterwards. This is a Christmas shot. Christmas is a really big time for us. We're big on hampers, we're big on Christmas trees and turkeys and all that sort of thing, but obviously the gift shop is a really big bit of what we do, and the whole of the upstairs floor is dedicated to Christmas gift and decorations. The last bit of the building work that we've done so far was the dog house, or the garden room if you want to be posh. We've actually got this demand for people with dogs who want to come and dine with their dogs. We went on holiday to the Lake District and experienced this, and we came back and we thought we've got to do it. And through COVID, as we all know, everyone's bought a dog, so it's been very, very popular. We're very proud of our farming heritage and our connection with the farming part of our business. We produce our own rare breed British whites on the farm. Emma's dad is still farming that, and all of the beef comes into the butchery straight off the farm. It's 4 generations, as I said, of the Bowden family have been farming here. We represent the 5th generation, and our children, well, it's probably a bit early to say about them yet, but we remain hopeful. We've done very well with awards over the years. We've won some national awards for Best Farm Shop, Best Large Farm Shop at the Farm Shop in Delhi and the Farm Retail Association Awards. Lots of local awards at the Taste of Staffordshire Awards, and lots of regional awards and sausage awards and all sorts. But this is obviously the most important one. We won this in March on my birthday, 3rd of March. I got a happy birthday, which was lovely. And we won the Food and Drink Retailer of the Year at the Tourism Awards, so that was fantastic. We've also won lots of awards on the farm. Some of you might know Mr. Bowden there with the cap on the right. We've won awards for best crops, and the crops are used to feed the cows on the farm, so we're keeping it all moving round in circles at Denson Hall. First, very briefly to talk about how we coped through COVID, through the lockdowns. We had to, everyone, the pivot acronym sort of thing has been used a lot, hasn't it? But we did have to pivot. We had to close the cafe. I mean, I had, sat at my desk in tears when the cafe was closed. It was horrible. When you're sort of master and destiny of your own business, when that's taken away from you, it's rough. But we turned things around very quickly, and we set up a click and collect and a home delivery. We trained butchers to become, chefs to become butchers. We trained cafe staff to be pickers and packers. and actually we were busier than ever. And what we lost in our cafe sales, we more than made up in our shop sales. And actually, when we look back on it, it had a positive effect on our business because the new people that came to Denson Hall have fallen in love with it and have stayed with us. So our footfall and our new customer base has really picked up. Obviously, the current crisis of food inflation is off the scale, and I'm sure all these people here, you're all in food. It is a real worry, and we are being, we're having to be very, very aware of every single invoice that comes into the business. I've just had a tea for time, so I must be nearly there. I'll speed through this, but obviously we are very aware of prices flying up through the roof, and we are doing everything we can to cut our costs where we can, but it's going to be a hard time, and we'll see where that goes. Right, I'll whiz through this. 2 slides to go. This was done for Staffordshire Day. So we are here to evangelise about Staffordshire and our fantastic local producers. Emma's given it away that we have 58 producers in Staffordshire, but we ran this competition on Facebook and asked people to guess how many we have in Staffordshire. So just in the county of Staffordshire, 58 producers. And that is what makes our business so diverse and rich, I guess. It's quite a hard thing to replicate in a supermarket environment. And what self-respecting presenter would not finish on a Staffordshire oatcake? And on this plate, which is made in Stoke-on-Trent, we have a Staffordshire oatcake. We have Staffordshire grown asparagus from New Farm at Lichfield. We have bacon that was made from pigs from Packington Free Range, and we have an egg from Sam's Eggs. So there we go. It's all happening in Staffordshire. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the afternoon. And if anyone's got any questions, we're doing this panel later on. I can speak to you then.
Thank you, Rupert. Yeah, just a reminder on the Q&A, obviously touched on increasing prices there. I think that's probably something we'd all like to talk about afterwards, so we'll probably touch on that after. Up next, we have Philip Carter, who's from the organising committee of Love Cheese Live and also commercial sales at All Noah Food. He's going to talk about the history of the International Cheese and Dairy Awards and Love Cheese Live, and obviously that's moved from Cheshire over to Staffordshire, which is a massive coup for the area. It's a massive event. I'm not going to, yeah, you're going to present it for you. And a short background on All Noah Foods as well. So yeah, over to you.
You stole my line. I was actually going to say I'm done here because you've just basically said it all. But thank you very much, Rupert, for hosting us. I'm not sure how I follow your story because that's incredible. Just like your sausage rolls, by the way, it's very, very good. But yeah, I'm here today to talk about a couple of different things. I work for All Noah Foods, which are based in Leek, but I'm also here to talk really about Love Cheese Live, which is a new event to Staffordshire that's happening on the 1st and 2nd of July. So a bit of a coup for us as a county. We've stole it from Cheshire, from Nantwich. So it's going to be fantastic this year. Loads and loads of things going on. So we're really super excited to share some of those details with you shortly. But just firstly, this is the site of All Noah Foods in Leek in Staffordshire. So who would have thought that place there existed? I didn't. I'm from Staffordshire and I've been in food for getting on for 20 years. I know I don't look that old, but I've sold food all over the world. When I came back to Staffordshire, I was looking for a food business, tapped on the shoulder and said, how about All Noah Food? Never heard of them, didn't know they existed. Hopefully this year we'll touch £500 million turnover in sales. We've got 650 employees there. And we supply basically, as you'll have seen outside, pre-packed hard cheese to all the supermarkets. So you will have almost certainly had our cheese in the past. So a few more numbers around what that factory does and how impressive it is. It's Europe's largest, most efficient cheese packing site. There's nothing else quite like it in Europe and certainly in the UK. The great thing about what we do is cheese that we produce comes in big bulk 20 kilo blocks, and we're able to produce that down really high efficient, fast moving lines. And we during the pandemic, that number there says 92,000 tonnes, but we actually did over 100,000 tonnes over the last couple of years due to the sheer amount of volume that retail has done. If you remember, your only entertainment was going to Tesco, wasn't it, on a Friday? That's all you could do. So supermarket volumes did very, very well, and we did very, very well on the back of that. But 100,000 tonnes, just to put that into perspective, that's sort of 12 trucks a day in and 12 trucks a day out, filled with pre-packed cheese. And you will be aware of those two brands. So Pilgrim's Choice and Kerrygold, or Newer Foods in Leek, is the home of those two brands in the UK. So again, we should be pretty proud of this operation, what we do. It's really very, very impressive. At some point, it'd be great if you're more than welcome to come and visit the site. We've got a gantry. You don't need to actually put all the gowns on the stuff. You can actually go and see the site from the gantry and have a look at what we do. It's very, very impressive. Well, like I said, I'm not really here to talk too much about that, but I'm happy to take questions on what we do and how we do it. What I'm really here to talk about is the Love Cheese live show, which is going to be on the 1st and the 2nd of July this year, which is taking place in the county showground. Like I say, we've stole it from Nantwich, which is brilliant news for us as a county, and as I'm from Stafford, so brilliant that we get it in our town. As you can see, the hairy bikers are going to be there. Last year we had loads and loads of different celebrity chefs who did lots and lots of cooking demonstrations. We're hoping to get 10,000 people through the doors over those 2 days. Really, really exciting stuff. There'll be other things going on, so it won't just be about cheese. I know everybody loves cheese, but there'll be other things as well. The guys from Nelson's Gin are going to be here, so get more gin. There's lots of outdoor and yes, loads and loads of things. More things. We took a lot of feedback on last year. It was our first event. I think with COVID it was quite difficult, but we've took sort of feedback about getting it to be more family orientated, so there'll be more things to do for the kids and bringing people together. So that'll be really exciting. Sort of rundown of some of the events there that's happening on the chefs stages. So very, very exciting thing. I'd encourage you all, please. Hopefully Louisa can share some of the details and then come along and see it. So that's on the 1st and 2nd of July. We stole it from Nantwich. Nantwich used to be what was an agricultural show, and then there was a kind of cheese thing that happened on the end that people didn't really get or know what it was about. So this is a dedicated cheese event. Also, prior to that event, so the public day, if you like, is on the Friday and Saturday. On the Thursday, myself and my colleague, you'll have seen Chris, put your hand with Chris at the back, who works also on the organising committee of Love Cheese Live. On the trade day, where me and Chris get involved, is the International Cheese and Dairy Awards, which is the world's largest cheese and dairy awards. So it's absolutely fantastic. Again, you wouldn't have known that this actually happens, but we have cheese suppliers and dairy suppliers from all over the world that descend on Stafford, sliding into Casa at 2 a.m. dancing the night away. So people from France or Canada, Australia, people from all over the world coming, sharing their products, showing their products in an attempt to win a coveted International Cheese Award. Hopefully you would have tried some of Chris's cheeses earlier. They were some of the gold medal winners from last year. But isn't it amazing to think that we have this global event with producers, fantastic producers from all over the world, and they're going to be in Stafford. They're going to be in Stafford this year, and they'll stick around for the show as well. So it's for me really, really exciting that we've managed to get this event over here, and there'll be lots of fun things to do. I'll be in Casa as well if you're around that day, so it's great. But hopefully this will work, Louisa, fingers crossed. So there you go, a little flavour of that's what the show looks like. I'm coming to the end now, so some good news that you might have already heard about, but I have managed to get an exclusive ambassador's discount for everybody here and your businesses. Hopefully Louisa can share this with everybody's email addresses and you get some details, but there's an exclusive code that we can use to gain access to discounts on tickets for this year's event. So hopefully I'll see you all there. Or you could, yeah, the code is STAFFAM, like as in Staffordshire Ambassadors, STAFFAM25. And that's me. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Philip. That's Staff Am 25. Thank you. I'm going to share that with not the world, but our team at the restaurant on your social. Up next, we have Chris Cohen from Feasted. Chris, over to you.
So I think I'm the new boy, the new kid on the block. So hi, I'm Chris from Feasted. If you haven't heard of Feasted, we do two things. Firstly, we make incredible food for those of you who haven't experienced it. For those of you who have, anyone in the room who's had any of our amazing food over the years, you know, what I ask of all of you, regardless of whether you're our customers and clients, I ask you to journey with us. I really want to thank everyone for, for Rupert for putting on this event today, for Louise and the team for, bringing us all together. It's really exciting to be in a room with all like-minded people at a time in our industry where it is ultimately time for change. And I could harp on about what we've achieved, but I really want to embrace the future. That's what I'm here to do, to share with you today, guys. I'm obsessed with context. My wife says that I'm autistic, and maybe I am a little, but I'll tell you this now, context ultimately is everything. I'm not going to try and sell what we do. I'm not here to brag. I'm not here to pull in a few extra customers. But what I'm really after is you guys to journey with us in whatever, any way you can. We're really focused on the future, as I've already said. Now, myself, I'm a chef, I'm an educator, I'm also an educational consultant in lots of ways as well. More about education a little bit later on. What we really do is we enable people. People say to me, "What do you do at Feasted?" Yeah, we make incredible food. And for those of you who've experienced that, I'm sure you would share that. But beyond that, it's about the contexts of what our industry can become. And I'm sure everyone, all the panel today who've spoken, who are going to obviously share after me, would agree on that. Really, we do this through three key contexts, three key pillars: history and heritage. That's all about understanding who you are and where you're from. That unearths unending opportunities. Secondly, community. We talk about the gastronomical achievements. We often forget about the other end of that scale and the people who are hungry. And I think that's really important that we embrace that in the future of our industry. We in lockdown as an industry innovated. We were really smart. Rupert, you shared what you did. And there was lots of that in our industry. And we really did make new ground. In a way, we've kind of stepped away from that. We've gone back to our day jobs. We've kind of left a bit of those opportunities behind. Like I say, I'm not here to sell anything to you, but I am here to ask you to journey with us. So the power of narrative, time and place, storytelling, call it what you want, guys. But if we engage in this process of understanding these things, we literally lift the lid on a box of unending opportunities. And that's really what I'm going to share with you now. The opportunities around us to tell stories, it's endless. Rupert spoke about the Staffordshire Way. The guys from Anua have spoken about, the amazing array of products that they produce and supply. Craig and his foray into, gastronomy with Luna and everything else he does. Young man here from Nelson's Gin, everybody at the front, Richard, we're all doing that. We're all connecting contexts. And I really want to share a bit more of that. Really, like, contexts and narratives can enable innovation. Time and place as a chef is a really, really interesting proposition. When we begin to construct dishes out of time and place and context, we begin to create new ground. And if you understand this, you can really create unique dishes rich in context that may only exist and make sense in a moment in time. So, for example, I'm absolutely obsessed with the transitions between seasons. There's two magical moments in the calendar year, right? And one of those is the end of winter into spring. The very moment, it's probably about 8 weeks ago, the very moment where you get the little sprigs of wild garlic, yet you've still got the hearty roots of winter. It's a beautiful moment that doesn't last long. But as a chef, if you understand that, you can create dishes that don't make sense any other time of year. You see lots of chefs try and sustain this, and actually it becomes out of date very, very quickly. The other one, of course, is the back end of that point of summer into autumn, which again is very, very exciting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you one of these dishes that shows the story of context that I'm talking about. So this is a dish called the Story of Ladis, or Ladis Shall Live. It's a dish born out of the context of Stoke-on-Trent. Anybody, put your hand up if you know. You can tell I used to be a teacher. Put your hand up if you know anything about the story of Ladis. Amazing. So everyone in a second will be able to put their hand up. So after the after the Second World War, a politician in the city called Barnet Stross worked with the miners of the city. And at the time, the miners were obviously a huge part of the economical makeup of the city and the industrial makeup of Stoke-on-Trent. Combined, they raised the equivalent of £1 million back in the 1940s to rebuild the town of Ladis in what was then called Czechoslovakia, now the Czech Republic. So the reason why it had to be rebuilt was because the Germans just leveled it in the Second World War. There was nothing left, all but a handful of young people and a pear tree. So the pear tree is really significant. So in the early 2000s, a group of those survivors revisited the city of Stoke-on-Trent. And because we helped them rebuild their city, their town, they gifted the city of Stoke-on-Trent a pear tree, which is just by the Victoria Hall, I believe, in Hanley. That's right, isn't it? Just by the Victoria Hall. So it's these stories that really engage us as Feasted. And it's one of the things we really want to get young chefs to understand, the opportunities and the possibilities. And that's not just exclusive to chefs, that's exclusive to anybody with an entrepreneurial spirit, anybody with that idea of, do you know, I can dream bigger, I want more for myself or the people who I employ in my business and the people we educate. So this dish was really born out of that. At the base there, you've got a zemlovka, which is a Czech pudding with fermented pear. On the top of that is a pear which is braised in Cabernet Sauvignon, representing the loss and the blood that happened within the deaths of so many people in that place. And then finally, alongside that is a charcoal creme fraiche, which brings texture and a real element of interest to the dish that really introduces that idea of the miners and remembering the miners. And I think in Stoke-on-Trent, we remember that it's important to remember that in lots of different ways. Now, this dish looks back. It's really important to embrace the future as well. You know, I can't say that enough, really. It's the future that really excites me at this point in time as a young business in Stoke-on-Trent and Staffordshire. So I'm going to move on now. This is my last slide. I'm really interested in the power of food and education together. In my industry, what's really interesting is that I've worked with a lot of young people that will just say, I'm just a chef. Yet, at this point in time, when I stand in front of young people in schools and colleges, young people just like yourselves today, guys, it's literally that realization that we are standing on the edge of a chasm. And really, for those businesses in hospitality that jump and grasp the opportunities around sustainability, growing technology, traceability and sourceability of products, education in itself, all those things, these contexts are unending. For those who grasp onto them, I believe that we're at the beginning of a bit of a food revolution. At this point in time, guys, it's not a case of thinking of the future. It is absolutely the case that the future is now. And I ask you to journey with us. What I say to young people is be a cook, be a chef, be innovative, be smart, do it with intelligence. Because it's the ingredients that you assemble every day that can lead to so much more. Understanding the contexts of cookery, such as the things I just mentioned, sustainability, growing technology, all these things, even the ceramics, are not very much at the core of our heritage. By doing this, we're not just enabling great chefs and people. Let's remember these chefs are people, something that our industry has had, and hopefully it is past tense forgotten. But also nurturing future innovators and entrepreneurs in Stoke-on-Trent and across Staffordshire. And I'm going to ask you a question. Is it conceivable that in the future, people will visit Staffordshire for a context-rich education that leads to a hyper-ambitious career in hospitality? That is what I'm proposing to you guys today. The future, as I've already said, is now. Through narrative, context, time and place, we can enable so much more. Which is why we have our three key pillars, as I've already said: history and heritage, who we are and where we're from, community, how we feed people, how we get rid of and eliminate food poverty. How many times have you heard that conversation? It's so sad that people are still starving in this day and age. It makes me yawn when I hear that, because I just think, guys, we've got the keys to eliminate it already. Interestingly, I had a conversation with one of the local leaders of Tesco's, and as a foodie, and maybe some of you guys in the front row understand this and maybe feel this as well, that we see the big boys as the enemy. But actually, when you engage with them as humans, as individuals, as people, what you start to realise is actually they are absolutely part of the solution as well. I think it's really important to be aware of that. So just to finish up, I've just had the time message. Thank you. You can be a client. You can buy from us as Feasted. But all I'm asking you to do is to journey with us. Guys, as I've said already, the future is now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, Chris does sell fine dining at home concepts as well, so I think we can touch on that after. I'll sell for you. I'll say, and I follow Chris's journey as well through social media and LinkedIn, and that is a great example of the work, but that's one aspect of it. So joining narrative with the produce that you're producing, great work. Up next we have Neil Harrison from Nelson's Gin. We need some more going around now, don't we? Yeah, need some yourself. Just a quick bottle. Over to you, Neil. Do you want to come over and introduce Nelson's Gin and your recent success in contact with Michelle Gin? Thank you.
Lots of people here, isn't there? Hi, I'm Neil from Nelson's. I am here to sell myself and everything we do, and hopefully you'll buy some. We've been going at Nelson's, I think it was a meeting I had with Rupert actually in this very spot. Nelson's distillery was actually going to be there at one point. That very quickly changed when we found out how big a space we needed. So 2002, I trained as a chef, worked in Michelin star restaurants all over the country, set up lots of different businesses. I've imported cement, I've made Australian pies, I've run a timber frame building business, I was a director at Tarmac, and then I retired and decided I'm just going to make a few bottles of gin. That's all I'm going to do. That was, as I say, 2015. We then looked at a site in Brindley, just up the road, set our business up there, just making a few bottles for friends. We moved out of that unit within about a year, and we bought one 10 times bigger, and that's sort of the start of Nelson's Gin. So 7 years ago, we set up Nelson's. We had a little gin school that had 6 people. Where 6 people come along, that very quickly grew out of all proportion. We now have 28-seater gin school. Before the pandemic, it was fully booked for 6 months in advance. You can get in there this Saturday if you'd like to. I am selling it. Go for it. We don't sell gin in supermarkets. I do see them as the enemy because they want too much profit. Rupert's one of our biggest customers in Staffordshire, definitely. We do sell to Harrods if you class that as a supermarket. Fortnum and Mason's if you class that as a supermarket, but that's Waitrose as well, sorry. That's where we draw the line. We like to keep Staffordshire on the front. Our bottles are made by Wade. We like to support local businesses. We like to be supported by local businesses. We probably, in our gin schools, have probably 80 people a week who stay in Staffordshire, usually for a weekend. We like to use the local businesses to put them up in, and we also like to put packages together so when they've done ours on the Friday, they can go somewhere else on the Saturday, which we were talking about earlier, which is very important. Sorry, should I be pressing the button? Is that doing it? There we go. So that's one of our gin schools. We were voted the highest rated tourist attraction in Staffordshire. We've also been, we won Startup of the Year, Food Retail of the Year. We've won lots of awards, but that's all Staffordshire. We push Staffordshire as our main thing, and it's very important to us that we use Staffordshire products and we support Staffordshire businesses. So that's that one. I haven't seen these slides before, so you'll have to bear with me. Yeah, that's me.
On the screen in front.
Is it? Oh, yeah. I can't read that. There we go. Yeah, so that's pretty much saying what I've already said. Yeah, so we've moved on now. We've just done a deal with India to supply 40,000 bottles, I think, in the first month, which is great. So we are moving out of Staffordshire and getting bigger and bigger. But again, that pushes Staffordshire throughout the world, which is very important. We've got gin schools in the Philippines. We've got gin schools in Leeds, not quite the Philippines, close. Manchester, Birmingham, sorry, yeah, Birmingham. So again, it's pushing Staffordshire out to the areas and supporting Staffordshire as we go along. These slides don't make any sense to what I'm saying, but they're nice. They look lovely. Again, great taste-wise. Timor gin is the only gin in the world that's won a Great Taste 3-star twice on the run. Timor is a Szechuan pepper that we get from Nepal. We're the only people in the world that have got any of it. Worth a try. Very nice. There's some out there for tasting if anybody wants to try it. We've won San Francisco Outstanding. We've won all the awards. If we enter an award, we win it generally, and that's down to Staffordshire. I'm boasting, but yeah, nobody else is going to do it, are they? So it's very important to us. Philip Schofield's favourite gin, Matt Tebbett's favourite gin. We also make gin for Michelle Roof Jr. We do a Gav Ross gin. We're just bringing out his new one. Someone who's going to be at the Cheese Awards. We're doing a gin for him soon, but I can't tell you which one it is. Starts with Matt and ends in Tebbert. We're doing a gin for him. We also do Roy Wood's gin. We did his Christmas gin. We're also bringing a Blackberry Wade gin out for him very soon, which is very nice. So again, we try and push Staffordshire as much as we want. But as I say, the gin school is the biggest part of our business. Obviously, pandemic-wise, we were completely shut for 2 years, which does sharpen the mind in what to do. Fortunately, we'd spent a lot of money on websites, so our web sales went through the roof, but everything else stopped dead. So we were pretty flat, but if we hadn't had the web, we would have been completely jiggered. People like Rupert obviously supported us through the pandemic and Emma, obviously, yes. No, I'm looking at it when I'm saying it. Yeah, who buys it and who drinks it? That's the question. So that's pretty much it. I've tried to catch up a bit because I know we're a bit behind schedule. That is our team pretty much as it stands now. The man in the middle is Michelle Rue, who comes up to the gin school quite often. Lovely chap. And I was just asked to give an overview of Nelson's. So, bye Nelson's.
Thank you very much, Neil. Can you see it now? It's where we go back. Thank you, Neil. Thank you to all of our speakers who've joined us today. Some great presentations, a lot of variety in there as well, I'm sure. You'll all agree. And I'd just like to, for a final round of applause for, not a final one, we'll do another one after, but a round of applause for everybody.